Hi, this is going to be a brief Drafthouse Diary. Tuesday, July 18th, 2023, I went to the Alamo Drafthouse at Sloan's Lake to see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for the second time. And the movie definitely rewards a second viewing, not just for the Easter eggs and things in the background, all the really detailed animated jokes that they added to this movie, but also the story and the characters reward a careful second viewing. It was all very well done, very well performed, and they expanded so well on the ideas of the first movie while introducing new ideas, these meta ideas about story. And I've talked about that in a previous review. But I do want to mention that this movie is about the fact that characters and context are inseparable. You cannot have a character or look at a character without really thinking about their context. And this movie addresses that in a couple of ways. For one, it takes characters out of their normal context and sees how they work in these new contexts. And it also explores how context creates character. It's not just as simple as if Uncle Ben doesn't die, Spider-Man doesn't become the Spider-Man we know. It's more than that. But I like the fact that this movie gave me that to think about, along with all the other things that I've been thinking about this movie, so I'm glad I went a second time. I do have something to tell you about the pre-show for this screening of Across the Spider-Verse, because it wasn't the same pre-show that I saw the first time I saw the movie at the Littleton Aspen Grove Alamo. It had a lot of the same components, but it wasn't assembled in exactly the same way. And in that first review, we talked about the fact that there was this weird break and repeated section of that pre-show. And we were trying to figure out if this was intentional and it was some kind of commentary about the multiverse aspects of the movie. It didn't quite make a lot of sense, but now what I saw this evening show at the Sloan's Lake Alamo, it was a lot of the same building blocks, a lot of the same pieces, put together a little differently with no repetition, and a few things that didn't appear in the pre-show last time I saw it. Some pieces from the Japanese Spider-Man TV series, for example. Some really odd footage from a Turkish version of Spider-Man. Hard to describe. But it is interesting to see that it was different, and it leads me to think that there were problems with the pre-show the first time we saw this movie in Littleton, and that what I saw today was kind of the fully assembled pre-show that they had intended. But it's interesting to see these differences and these changes from theater to theater and from screening to screening. I did get some food on this trip to the Alamo. I got a Caesar salad. I've had that plenty of times before. It's good. I've mentioned it before. There's not much to say about that. And again, the staff at Sloan's Lake, very good, very efficient, very friendly. I'm glad I saw this movie again. And if you haven't seen that movie, it might be worth a try. If you've seen it, maybe see it again when you have a chance and think about some of these details that it has to offer. If you're interested in that first full review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, take a look at this video, which I made with my son and co-host on the Intermillennium Media Project podcast, Ian Porter. I'll be back with more Drafthouse Diaries. In the meantime, enjoy your movies, and when you do, stay till the end of the credits.